Hey there, I'm Ornella Hernandez with Web3 TV, and I'm at the BlockDown Festival in Portugal, and I'm here with the founder, Erhan. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having us. How has it been going so far? What does it take to put on a festival or a conference of this kind?
Festival, you're right the first time. I'm always telling people it's not a conference, it's a festival, right? So, honestly, it takes a lot of hard work. We've been planning this now for about 10 months in total. It's a roller coaster ride, as you might imagine, with the speakers and sponsors, and obviously we're in a bear market, so I think you have to. Well, it's a bit, I shouldn't really be saying this, but I think you should, you kind of have to respect events that still push through in this market and still put things on. And I'm really proud of what BlockDown is, because BlockDown is going against the trend. It's not just a copy and paste, copy pasta, conference that you get around the world.
What differentiates it from other conferences out there?
So many. So BlockDown Festival, it's the intersection of Web3 and culture. So we focus on music, sports, arts, entertainment, gaming. And we really wanted to have a festival that's focused on the creative industries, right? Because the creative economy kicked off massively in 2021. But then I'm going to conferences all the time. I'm a digital nomad, and it's still just kind of like the boring hotel, boring exhibition. They're just talking about regulation or institutional adoption. Don't get me wrong, very important things. But does NFT artists, fashion artists, music labels, are they that interested in that? We need to have events to bring them in and to keep them. And I was concerned that we wouldn't do that. And so here we are at BlockDown, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I'm sure with our crowd, it gets quite busy later on. So this is a great time to do your interviews.
Yeah. So tell me what we can expect. I know there's parties and DJs, in addition, of course, to panels and networking. But what are you most excited for?
It's difficult to say one thing that I'm most excited for, but we have the Metaverse fashion show happening probably pretty soon, in about half an hour or so on the main stage. We've got a real catwalk with real models coming in and displaying and on themselves the Metaverse fashion related fashion. And then also we've got the Web3 music takeover stage, which right now isn't open yet, but will open later on. So we've been working with our strategic partners, Token Tracks, and they have put together an amazing agenda of both panels but also performances. So we have some great artists like Josh Savage and Emma Miller who have minted out NFT albums, Web3 albums. So these are all native Web3 musicians, and they're going to come and perform. So it's great because obviously we've got the DJs, but we've also got urban music, indie music, folk music, you name it. It's very diverse. I think that's really important, obviously working in Web3. I'm really excited about those two things. Obviously the parties will be great. They've got the Bored Ape community doing a party. They did one yesterday on the boat, but also for everyone in the closing party. We've got a live virtual influencer performance as a DJ on the stage. So if you follow in marketing trends, virtual humans is becoming more and more prevalent.
Avatars, no?
No, you could call them avatars, but they're 3D virtual humans or virtual things, and but they're not real people. But anyway, so they're coming. So somebody's coming virtually and doing a DJ set for the first time in that guise, which is quite interesting. I've been in Web3 and crypto since 2017. I run a marketing PR and events agency. We also organize Istanbul Blockchain Week and W3 Expo, which is a Web3 gaming event. So I'm really not in the space to just do another event that doesn't add any value. It doesn't try and do things differently. I don't wake up every morning to do that. So that's kind of what gave me the kind of motivation to do something different. And I feel this kind of concept is also really important for on-stream, not only for the creative economy, but also onboarding the mainstream. Because who doesn't like sports, music, arts, fashion, entertainment? If you don't like any of them, then I don't want to talk to you.
You're weird.
Strange person, yeah.
So you said you got into the space in 2017, but what made you want to make events?
Yeah. So my background was in events. About a decade ago, I used to work in the music industry and do events in Ibiza and also boat parties and things like that. So I always loved that space. I loved music, but then I left that after a while and went more into the marketing side of things. I started working at a creative agency in WPP Group, which is the largest advertising agency conglomerate. And when we started getting into crypto, I was basically a digital nomad for 6-7 years. I still am now. So I used to go to event to event to event and then travel the world at the same time, which is awesome. But then
that tends to be the thing for, I think, people in the crypto community. They love to just travel everywhere and be nomadic. Is that still a thing?
Yeah, well, I'm still doing it. So are you?
I'd like to have at least a base, and then from there I can travel everywhere.
Well, I'm working on a base right now, so like it's being built. So bear with me. So until I've got like one more year of being like a true digital nomad. But anyway, so we, as my agency EAK, we used to partner with so many different types of events as their PR partner or as their media partner, which was great. But then after a while, we thought actually, with our network, like we could actually do this ourselves. And then so we observed, we saw what went well, what didn't go so well, and then we tried to take the good things, remove the bad things, come up with new concepts with our creative background. And also, more importantly, is that I'm half Turkish as well. So like that's why we launched Istanbul Blockchain Week. So that actually means something to me. It's not just like, oh, it's a random brand. So like I kind of took it upon myself as somebody who's half English, half Turkish to say, we need better events in Turkey. Like the events was really bad there. They were just like 100x influencers, like John McAfee kind of style. And I was quite embarrassed by that, like as as a proud half Turkish person. And so I just took it upon myself, like, we work with the likes of like Binance and Stellar and Solana and all these great projects. So like, why shouldn't we be the ones to take that to Turkey and make sure they're actually speaking to, they're actually being educated by like real thought leaders in the space and real builders and not these like pump and dumpers, let's say. And so yeah, so like I suppose like it's my creative background, it's also my agency, but also like as an individual, it's like I care about Turkish market and also care about like bringing something different to the Web3 space.
And when is the next event?
So the next event after the BlockDown Festival is Istanbul Blockchain Week, which is in August 22nd, 23rd. So it's only in 6 weeks.
My birthday is the 22nd.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're going to come to Istanbul then? Yeah. Have you been?
I just went very recently for the first time in May for a wedding.
Okay, nice. Okay, yeah. So if you're free, I mean, obviously I'd love to invite you. It's going to be an amazing event. Last year we had 3,500 attendees. That was in the FTX crash around that time. So it's only going to get bigger. Turkey's a massive market, and I'm very proud to be part of that ecosystem. But yeah, for us it's pretty crazy. Like 2 big events in 6 weeks. The turnaround is hectic. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it and to my time here in Portugal. Thanks again for your time.
Thanks for having me. All right.